Wow, fire intro song.
Good morning, Soft Power Universe. Welcome to Moonday Grounding. This is our first live stream, but this is our weekly meeting, and we are Soft Power, a collective for creative collective care, a church for artists and healers and all expansive beings. And we do this every Monday morning, and this week we're inviting y'all to join in with us. So my name is Siobhan. We've got the whole team here. There's the 5 of us, Flo, Nathaniel, Dr. Kiki, Midori, and our intention today is to share a little more in the behind the scenes of our world, first and foremost, but also equally, not really second most, is to invite y'all to ground with us, because every Monday morning we gather to share a little about what's been going on with us. There's always collective themes, and we ground in and set intentions for the week ahead. So that's what we're doing today. We're so glad you can join us. Wow, love seeing who is here already. Good morning, good morning. I've got my coffee and my breakfast, and I'm going to pass it to Dr. Kiki to ring us in.
Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone got through the full moon okay. And I definitely was experiencing some big emotions this weekend. And I just saw there's a lot of really beautiful culminations of things, and just seeing some folks in here that have been having some really beautiful projects produced and culminate again this weekend. So just sending lots of love to everyone, all of the creatives out there who have been just really showing up in our community and in your own local community. So with this kind of moment, I just would love to invite us to ground with vocal toning syllable and that's connected to the root and our foundations, our values, our ancestors. And so just giving us an opportunity to ground, to release any energies that might be in the body that want to be expressed this morning. And so today we will do our harmonizing frequency. I'll share a tone 3 times. In the first time, I invite you to join in unison. And the second and third time, I invite you to find another sound, find another pitch to harmonize in some way with the sound that we are producing together as a collective. So I'm going to take a moment to just exhale all of my air wherever I'm at right now, inviting you to do the same so that we can inhale and harmonize together. So right now we'll breathe in through a straw. 2 more times. Calling in any energy, spirits, ancestors that are here to support our community, our collective, our harmonizing frequencies. Last time. You are now tapped into the soft power frequency. Thanks, y'all.
All right, everybody. So I'm going to do a card pull with giving us a theme for the week collectively. All right, so the 2 cards that popped out are the Rebel and Clinging to the Past. Woo! And yeah, I really feel like these messages are around our ability to step on stage, but really also like share our stories in a way that individuates us, in a way that actually like allows for our uniqueness to shine. And that's really what this show, this Soft Power TV is about, is giving ourselves, but also our community. Eventually, that's the dream, this space to step on stage and share their stories, because our stories are the most powerful, just the most powerful tool, the most powerful modality of grounding us into what we're here to do. And I'm always about like the feeling of feeling connected to our calling, which could be really, really, something really simple as like being really connected to rest. And it's very like of the moment. And I'm really in that space of grounding into the emergence of what that means on a daily basis. And so I think that's why this Moonday grounding is really important, to just kind of like have this heartbeat of what is important to us as a team, and then also going out into the world, and how all our stories, all of everything, that also like there is a uniqueness, but there is also a through line that emerges. And that's like the power of sharing and really being witnessed through the process. And so we're here to share the process, and we're here not to just clinging to the past. To me is, I feel like we're at this point of like looking back and looking forward. And BA and I have been talking a lot about suspension and this idea of sitting in the present moment with what is and sharing from that place. So that is the message for today. And thank you, everybody. Nathan says, deeply resonates. I went to my rooftop last night and lip synced, sang Defying Gravity for like an hour straight under the full moon last night, expressed and cried. And like that witnessing is always happening from the lens. I always feel like we're on a reality show and our ancestors are watching us. All our spirits, all our guides are watching us. And that makes me feel witnessed in a way that doesn't feel like I always have to feel like I have to externalize it, that it's always happening. That's always a dynamic in a relationship that's unfolding. So thank you, everybody.
Wow. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Midori, for that message. And I'm just really wanting to honor all of the work that we've all done in our own personal lives to get to where we are today in this moment, and this continual realignment to our home base, to our true nature, to our creative spirit, to our spirits, to our spirit team, our spirit guides, our ancestors. And so I'm going to lead us through, my name is Flo. I'm going to lead us through a short movement practice to drop in into the body, into to your breath, to your body, to your altar, to your body temple. And so wherever you are, I invite you to find yourself connected to the space around you, the space underneath, and the ground and earth underneath you. And just start to connect with your breath, your natural rhythm of your breath. Exhaling out the mouth, exhaling out the nose, letting go with this breath, and inhaling in through your nose, breathing in fresh oxygen, this breath of life, this breath of life force, of life affirming, life-giving energy to your body vessel, breathing in and expanding with this breath. And then slowly exhaling out of the nose to ground and center, or out of the mouth with some sounds to help you release, clear, and cleanse, and to come back to your center. And so you're invited. I'm going to guide us through a short practice to just move the joints, to move the spine fluidly. So maybe it's some hip circles in one direction, connecting with your breath, connecting with your sound, the sound of your breath, and letting your breath facilitate movement connection to your body. Moving at the pace of your breath. Let's explore some seated cat-cows, some spinal extension. Inhale to look up towards the sky, opening up the chest, opening up the heart. Slight arch in the back. Exhale, round your spine, look down towards the ground. Breathing to the back of your spine, sending the breath all the way down to your hips, to your feet. Let's do a few rounds of seated cat-cows, moving at your own pace. Inhale as you look up towards the sky, connecting with the sky, connecting with the sun, the stars, the celestial guides up above us. Exhale, round your spine, down to the earth. And as you exhale, imagine your roots growing into the earth from the base of your spine, from the soles of your feet into the earth, moving at the pace of your breath. Inhale as you look up towards the sky, lengthening, extending, expanding with this breath. And then exhale, release, let go, contract, soften with this breath. And throughout our Moonday grounding ritual, I invite you to continue being in connection with your breath and body, moving, giving yourself permission to explore your spine and fluid movements. And that concludes our short movement practice. Thank you everyone for being here.
Thank you, team, for each of your medicines. They're so important and valued, and grateful to receive each of what you bring. My name is BA or Nathaniel. If you don't know me, I'm creative producer for Soft Power TV and also just Soft Power Daddy. And I'm excited to lead our discussion today. So every Monday we end up kind of just really like going around and chatting about what's coming up for us, what things are really resonating, what are the messages that we're receiving. And it just really becomes a beautiful time to sit with messages and ponder and think about how we want to orient the week, knowing what's like being downloaded. And so as I was sitting with the full moon in Gemini yesterday, and Midori already mentioned this energy of suspension that's really been coming up a lot for me when I think about Gemini and like duality, and sort of there's this energy of like existing in two places and being a through line of connection. And as I thought about that middle space, that sort of like the place that holds the duality that we sometimes sit in, can feel like we're not moving, or it can feel like it's not we're on the way to something, but we're not in a place. And so I've been really challenged to sit with this concept of suspension as a completed moment. Suspension is the full moon, is the birthing of something. And to be suspended and to have perspective, I've been sort of in my brain picturing like someone in a kink scene in Shibari, and sort of like in that like full surrender and trust. And then there's sort of this piece of like looking at what's ahead, knowing what's come before, but really being in this place and knowing what is to be offered, and that there is a fullness in the in-between. And so really the questions that I want to pose to the crew is like, what are you currently resonating with? Even if you know, and maybe especially if you know, this isn't my final destination, this isn't the final iteration of this thing. It is a place to actually sit inside of and to celebrate. So what can I celebrate now, in the now? And what is there to celebrate about now, even if that is in this kind of suspended place? And so for me specifically, how I would answer this question is that I'm sort of in this place of, I've had a bit of a tower year for my for my tarot girlies, over the last like year and change, of just having a lot of storm kind of weather come in and clear things out. And I find myself sitting in the space of, my dreams have more available than they had before, because they were tied to different mindsets and beliefs and even people that are no longer with me. And so now I'm in this place of like, oh wait, I have like other dreams that are available here. And then also inside of that space of dreaming, realizing that I already also have everything right here to make that dream tangible. I am the steward of my dream. No one else holds it. It is mine to realize. And I'm sort of receiving a lot of downloads lately around like, it's all here. All the ingredients are here, man. Like, you've been building it, you've been doing it. And so what does it look like in this time of, Mars is retrograding until the end of February. So I take that as a message from the universe to really be in the planning and the sitting with part of my being, and not the doing part. And so I'm really in that space of, okay, let's put some plans and budgets and resourcing to these dreams, so that when you are ready to act, you have a plan in place, and in the spring you're ready to bloom. So that's sort of what's coming up for me. And I'm just gonna allow folks on the rest of the team to come forward and share, what are you celebrating in the now? And what is that honest place that you're in, that you can celebrate in fullness, knowing that I'm not there yet, but this, where I am, is powerful. Dr. Kiki, what you got for us this morning?
Called out, and I love it. I'm really trying not to be the student that sits in the front row and answers the question first. But I appreciate the call out and the call into responding to this really thoughtful and meaningful question. And really what's been coming up for me is just very similar to you, Nathaniel, of being in a place where I really see a lot of what I've been building and co-creating with my family and community here over the last 3 years, since my partner and I moved back to the Midwest after getting my doctorate in 2021. We came back to the Midwest to be closer to family, and really making that a priority and a value in ways that I really had not in the pursuing my higher education. And so there's been this period that I've been in of a lot of grief and a lot of healing of even why I chose that path in the first place, because of just the clarity that I have of being here in a small rural area in the Midwest, in central Illinois, building alongside my family, and really thinking about the resourcing that we need to be in better relationship with the land here and the community that's here. And so been in a really beautiful season of wintering since coming down from surrender this fall, and seeing a culmination of creative projects and desires that I have for myself as a singer-songwriter and performer, beyond just the education that I've had as a choral conductor, but seeing that there's possibility of me still living in this small town, being kind of a 50% stay-at-home mom, 50% working mom, and that I'm not exactly where I see myself wanting to be, but seeing that I've gotten myself to a place where it is possible, and that not only do I have those, that I see those resources, but the people, the support that I have is really founded on things and values that run really deep. And so I feel like there's a trust and a foundation there that I really haven't had ever in my life until now. And so just feeling kind of this trust really integrate in my body in this season, that the visions that I have are true because they're leading me to places that feel more grounded, that feel more authentic. And that now when I'm expressing and creating, that it feels more whole from me, and that it's not just me trying to please a perception or an expectation that has been set for me. So that I think is where I'm going to leave that now, just because I have a little one here. So thank you for that question. But yeah, really appreciating this space to come in and share.
Thank you, Kiki. Celebrating where you are and in real time as you're like, holding motherhood and parenting while being in this space. I think it's just beautiful to witness that, honest and authentic like way of being. So thank you for that. Want to highlight a comment from our village member Pug, realizing, celebrating, and the reality of what used to be true for me is not anymore. That's such a word. I've been working with the magician and the tarot, and just really sitting with like the truth of inner power and the truth of our power that comes from within, and how we live in a system that preys on that power and tries to sell us these lies and illusions. And as we break free of that and realize that, these stories that we share, these traumas, these things that we've been through can just be stories that we tell, and we actually don't have to hold them and embody them. We can release them and really step into new iterations, new births of ourselves. Thank you, Pug. It's a word. And thank you, Kiki. Midori, what you got this morning?
So many things are running through my head right now, but really, I think being here, and the theme has been like staying in my lane is probably the best way to describe it, but I've spent so much of my life anticipating everyone around me's needs, and I'm really sitting with the feelings that how to really acknowledge everyone's like sovereignty around me, and like how capable everyone is, and the like relief that I have in that realization. Like even having BA produce the show, just feeling so held through this process, and like I think been doing so many things on my own creatively. I ran like a whole photography practice on my own. I was working in like director level roles at jobs, and really deprogramming myself out of like I have to do it all. And we are so resourced in what we have here as a team, is really like what I'm feeling. And I'm able to kind of like drop into this creative flow and creative power that is really revolutionary in my body. The feeling of like releasing control is like a constant somatic practice every single day, where I'm not like clenching down on something. It feels like an expansion. It feels like a call to kind of to soften, not to be redundant here, but to soften into my power. And I've been doing a lot of studying with the I Ching and learning about Taoism, and the way of the Tao is really about finding that pocket that like there's a story in the Tao Te Ching about this butcher who is able to butcher an ox with one swipe of a blade, because they know the Tao of the body. And I really do feel like that this is my era of that, like wielding of skill and understanding what that pocket is and how to constantly try and constantly align to that Tao, to that flow, to that creative flow. That does not require me to clench my nails and to like have to organize everything into boxes in order to feel safe. And yeah, I'm really celebrating every day that I am conscious of that, even if I don't feel like I'm able to actually, fully embody that. At least the consciousness is enough. At least that is a step in this like suspension period of being really present with what is. So that is what I'm celebrating today, is every day that I show up to that creative flow and that power.
So powerful, like the sharpening, the like clarity, right, that you're gaining. And I love the call in of like, I find that clarity, I find the sharpening, I find my pockets by actually leaning on more people, by like finding interdependence, and that allowing me to release control and release a hypervigilance and release these sort of like things that really can hold us back from like just full surrender into our path. So celebrating that for you. Highlighting Nathan, celebrating my commitment to deprogramming, limiting fear-based beliefs, and deepening in alignment and energetic sovereignty. I've grown so much this year, and I'm grateful for all y'all's love and support. Nathan, it's an honor to watch you blossom and bloom. I'm going to share some more. We got right now hibernation and cozy and introspection and deep winter and resonating deeply with me. Slowness, absolutely honoring the seasons, honoring winter, honoring rest as an important part of our process. As a writer, I often talk about that, like everything is writing, like everything I do is about my writing practice, and rest is so important for us to have like the body space to like receive downloads that we're receiving and things like that. Puck says that really resonates with me, Dory. So powerful and intense. Releasing the burdens we are putting onto ourselves is so key. Nathan, I hear you and feel you deeply. Celebrating your process. I love these. All right, one more. I'm celebrating pushing myself to do things that are hard, but that ignite joy in my life. Reconnecting the passions and loves that make me feel alive. Beautiful. Celebrating everyone in their space right now. Siobhan, you want to give us a word?
Sure would. I'm actually going to bring back what Pugger said in the chat about what used to be true for me is not anymore. Um, because that is like really grounding my response to this. And my first thought has been around my home and my family dynamic. And so the astrology makes a lot of sense. I'm pretty Saturnian, and Saturn's in my fourth house of home and family. And um, this full moon was in my seventh house of partnerships and relationships. And I'm really thinking about my one on one relationships with my family. And so for the viewers, the background, I come from a family of 3 siblings and 2 parents and a lot of spouses and children and partners and all this stuff. And early 2022, when I moved into my family home, my childhood home, I'm really blessed to have this family home here in Aloniland, aka San Francisco, that I've been in most of my life, at least this neighborhood too. And so when I left my marriage early 2022, um, the reason I stayed in a abusive dynamic for so long was because I felt that I didn't have anywhere to go. I didn't trust coming back to this place. Like coming back to this home felt worse than just like making myself smaller in my own home with a spouse. And so where I'm sitting at now is all of this like tough work, both like in conversation and embodiment, in like prayer and spirit work, and like the Reiki and all these things I've done to repair these relationships, because I specifically live with my mom and my older brother, who are like the two most difficult relationships I've had in my life outside of partnered romantic partners. And so why like this is what's on my heart is that I am so resonating with the home life, and I'm getting emotional already because I haven't thought about this till you asked the question, but I for the first time maybe ever, like at a conscious level, maybe when I was a kid, I had a good time. I'm really loving and embracing and resonating with my home life. My brother is also a co-parenting single dad, and we both have boys that are living here part-time with us and our mom, and just the support that we have like found in the harmony with one another is something that I never thought was possible, um, genuinely, and even this year had gotten into some of, like, the ugliest arguments that we ever had, and it was like yeah, so where we're at right now, lately, like, this weekend, we all went and, like, got a Christmas tree and decorated, and we're just hanging out, and I'm like, "Wow," like, this is such an important part of my journey, because every time I'd left this home, I was running and rejecting what I now see as like my responsibility to tend to my family and our spiritual wellness. Like that is what set me on my path to awaken to my spiritual gifts and my service to others. And I reached this point this year where I was feeling like, and I said this to the team, I was feeling like my family of origin is a reflection of these values, and I was feeling like I don't actually feel like I'm in integrity with these things that I'm sharing with and supporting my clients with fully, because I am avoiding this, and that was necessary and that timing was important. um, but to be in the place where we're at now, where we're cooking for making sure each other eats, supporting each other with the kids, it really really is what I even said to Kiki this morning around, like, re-indigenizing the family unit is something she and I really, like, share in our commitment of, like, bringing all our parents together. We have a very blended family. The co-parents of a lot of our kids are not partners, but they are still part of it. My parents have been divorced for, like, 15 years. My dad is still over all the time, to a point where, there's healing in that too of the relationships, but ultimately, I'm able now to really see, like, this is such a gift, this is such a privilege, and the stories that I had before that my family wasn't safe, or couldn't see me are just no longer true because um, I rewrote them both in the expectations that I set, because there are ways that they don't see me and they will not be able to, and that's also okay. And I'm able to, like, through soft power, through these Monday grounding meetings, I feel so nourished through our group gatherings. It's like I actually don't need them to see everything. And by being here in connection and this like pulse that we have, to be mirrors to one another here and see the work that we're doing and affirm ourselves, and to see that modeled with the rest of the team and the rest of the village and community, that has allowed me to show up without those expectations to my family. I'm able to hold so much more complexity, and just experience like what it feels like to be in harmony with my family. And I don't know, who knows how long that's gonna last, who knows how many years I'll have, like, as parents age and all of this, but right now, it's really, really beautiful, and this home that I'm in, I feel the difference in the energy in my home from what I've tended. As I've been joking, I've been rebranding living in my mother's basement, and so I really see down here as, like, the roots of the home, and I have been tending to the roots and adjusting and like getting rid of things that are in the garage, because my dad is like, he's an adoptee. My parents own this house still, and everybody in his family who's passed, their stuff comes here. And so there's so much like legacy and like inheritance that is here, both in objects and like emotional stuff. And yeah, I'm just feeling really, really authentic and embodied in what I was sharing out in the world the past few years, and was feeling a little bit insecure about like the hermitude that I took, and like didn't really take personal clients this year for the most part. Um and I get why, and it's been so fruitful. And so now in the winter, like, we're hunkering down, we're staying home, and it feels so good and not like I'm trapped and suffocating, which was my experience for, like, my whole life growing up in this very house with 8 people. So, that's a long share, but that's where I'm at. And for people, I know a lot of people have shared moving in with families, um and I'm really seeing the ways that, like, this is a necessary part of what I'll in the future be able to offer and hold for folks, because this is our reality. Like, I don't I'm not able to afford a, $4,000 rent for a two-bedroom home for my son and I in this city. Like, this city is nuts in cost of living. And not even that I won't be able to afford it, because I will be able to, and in some ways I'm able to afford a lot, more than I ever thought is possible too, after this year. But I'm able to at least find so much value and choose if this is where I want to be. I could have moved out by now, and I keep finding myself like staying here because there's just this work to be done together, and it's what's best for me and my son. And that's wild. I think, like, especially Kiki and Midori have heard like the worst of it the last few years flow too. Like, it's actually nuts where I've been at to like want to be here. So cheers to that.
Wow, so much celebration for you and this journey in the chat. And also, I'm just so deeply celebrating this story. It's really powerful. I think so many of us as like queer folks or folks who are just so kind of different from our lineage, and we're looking to heal that and then like heal our ancestral wounds. We don't have a lot of, I at least am not in relationship with a lot of people who have redemption stories with their families that return to a home base where that once felt unsafe, and they say, okay, I'm here, I'm resilient, I can do this work. And I see you having created the support you need to land in soft places on the outsides of these conflicts, and while you're inside of this, and in these moments where, oh, I don't feel seen, you have what you need to go find that and to drop into it. And like, I really resonate with this as well. And I think in a larger way, like, I think we're always all like on a frequency of receiving a lot of the same information, because we're all being guided by the divine. And I see this in a big picture way when I think about the astrology over the next 2 years, and just like the intensity that we have ahead, and that it is so important for us to build the resilience we need to have relationships across lines of difference, and to really be able to like really like love each other, even if we voted a way that we didn't agree with, or even if there's these beliefs that exist in people. I am reconnecting with some family as well that's not blood family, but is family from growing up. And to connect with them and be received in this way where like I get misgendered and I get dead named and all these things that usually really dysregulated me and made me feel like, God, I just wish y'all could see me. I don't feel that. Like, I feel nothing but love from them. And like, and it's this energy of like, and now I know I'm the only trans person that they know, that they have any kind of personal connection to. So now when they're in a dialogue about transness, they're not just, it's not an idea, it's me. And so, these relationships that really help, like, we meet each other, we stretch each other, and like that work is actually so important. Next iteration, as we shift into a new paradigm, we have to be able to love on people that hurt us, have hurt us. We have to be able to move in conflict and come out the other side still connected, whatever that looks like. And so just such a like, it's powerful to witness you doing that, Siobhan, and knowing that like there's these things of like, I never thought I'd be here, I don't want to be, I don't, and then also flipping it and being like, I'm rebranding this shit. Like, it's like giving like Flavor Flav dating from the basement of his mom's house, like, it's just like, you're just a bad bitch, like, no matter what. And I just like really, I'm celebrating that. And I just love yeah, being able to celebrate your life and witness this, because it's so fucking powerful. And we don't get to see that a lot. So thank you for sharing. Flo, what you got, baby?
Oh my god, I just gotta say, everyone's message has been on fire. I have to grab a fan because like the heart frequency, the passion, Nathaniel, I just kept nodding at your message of like, yeah, I really feel everything that you've shared, feeling resonance in my heart and feeling activated and feeling really inspired to be part of this moment, to be part of this collective, to be part of this village and what we're building. And so honoring and celebrating everyone's progress, realizations and truths and epiphanies and lessons and coming back to our power, coming back to our intuition, to our creative power, to our creative intuition, coming back to our sacred practice and rituals of rest and play and expression and being in an authentic connection with ourselves and our spirits and our spirit guides and each other and creating those spaces for us to witness each other, be in such sacred spaces together to witness and honor each other and celebrate each other. And I just feel, yeah, there's so many messages that's like moving, like I going through this mind, this channel, and yeah, I'm like, what's resonating right now in this moment is being in connection with my natural flow, with my, it's taken so much like inner realignment, cleansing, clearing, releasing a lot of somatically releasing and expressing so much old stories and stagnation that's become stagnant energy in the body. So much of where I am today is because of the people in my life and the inspirations that I've drawn from these points of inspiration, these reflections of spirit, of this like divinity and this like power, this empowerment that I feel in my connections today has given me the strength to really honor my power and come back to my power. And so being in flow, there's so much that's emerging and like a lot of moving pieces in my life, and making conscious decisions to continue shifting my reality and really grounding into my worthiness and my power and opening up my voice and being witnessed and being seen in my honesty and in these parts, and all of my parts in wholeness, and turning up the volume, so much of like breaking generations of silence and like hiding and playing small, and yeah, this is our time. This is our time to ride our dragon spirits, to really come into alignment with our power, and to step up to our spotlight and our stages, and to speak and lead from the heart and broadcast the truths that we are holding in our heart and our body and our bones. And so really swimming and flowing in the beingness, I really resonate with what in your with your sermon and messages, Nathaniel, the beingness, the sacred rest. Thank you for being a channel to these messages that the collective that we need to hear. So thank you for spitting fire, Nathaniel, and everyone who has shared. Okay, so I'm just gonna like move through my message. Okay, so I guess what I'll end my share with is I've been exploring and deepening my movement practices. Oh man, there's so much I want to share. But okay, what I'll share is like being in connection with my body and giving myself the permission to like bring awareness to my breath and my body, and to like really practice letting go. Like really practice letting go what I've been holding somatically, subconsciously, that's become unconscious, like putting pen to paper to write down these patterns that have been unconscious, that have been formed from places of not feeling safe, of being disempowered, of being not in alignment with my truth, and seeing how these patterns it gets expressed in my life and in my relationships. So okay, wait, let's go back to the main message is so I guess I'll end with, yes, deepening my movement practices. And I feel like as I what's been happening is as I release these parts, these old, like the old stagnation, and make space for new, there's so much that's emerging. There's so much place of like self-discovery, and like so much like grace and compassion and self-acceptance, and like really giving myself the permission to swim in the possibilities and in the magic. And so that's kind of like where I've been, is like in between, like, noticing when my body goes into survival mode, into like overthinking, and to like worry and stress mode, and then coming back to the body, being in my rituals with my spirit, and remembering my inner and inherent imagination and abundance. And so that's where I've been swimming, is tapping into this like creative, like erotic power that is the divine, that is in connection with the divine. And so I think that's okay. My very last part of the message is so I've been going by the fairy goddess the past few years, and I just want to say that she's currently resting right now. I've assigned her to be my accountant, actually, and so she's resting and like learning some new skills. And I have two new characters that are getting ready. They're in rehearsal in the underground right now, and they're getting ready to step on stage with me. And so, stay tuned with Soft Power. Okay, I think that is what I'll share. Thank you very much, and love y'all.
Yo, Flo, you're such an icon. I just love you. Thank you so much. I think that you are just like such a powerful channel, and to watch you in real time like alchemize some deep shit from like, that like recognizing the stagnation, being so in your practice to move it, and then seeing like that you then alchemize like the anger, the grief into art and into practice. And then you have all of this openness and spaciousness and newness that you're tapping into. So just to get to like in real time watch you like rebirth and shed and all these things is just so powerful. And I think like you, as someone who has a host of neurodivergent things that you identify with, like there are so many people like us that need people like you to look at, to know, how do I move through this? How do I exist in a world that moves too quickly for me? My pace is slower. How do I slow everybody else down? And you're so good at doing that in a way that we need it. Like that is a magic that you have to really like get us to drop into these places and in these ways, and to build that connection with the body. I watch you do it. I see you in your ritual with the body every day. And I just think that especially as like queer people, as trans people who like we've had histories of not living in our bodies because of how that's rejected, to like reclaim that and to be a witness to that, it's just inspiring. And yeah, I love this, Pug. There are so many people like us who need people like us, and you as a beacon of that is like so fucking powerful, and I'm just so grateful. Before I close out, Siobhan has a message from the dragon.
First of all, Flo, you bring me so much joy. I just want to cry a lot sometimes. It just like you just speak to a part of me that, yeah, that always feels nourished by you, and it's so playful, and I'm so grateful. I had this deck just sitting on my desk, and so I pulled one. I was just kind of like shuffling it for fun. But what jumped out, this is the Garden Dragons deck, written by Arwen Lynch, artwork by Stanley Morrison. The Garden Dragons, and it's kind of a silly deck, except that this one really showed up with that message. This is the Banana Dragon, and the message was gather. So the reason this is our last, this was the message from the dragons at the end, was just speaking to the value of gathering and affirming our connection with one another. That includes everybody that's watching right now. So it says, mystical meaning: when Banana Dragon shows up, call on your friends. Here is a creature who loves to gather. You should look for your group, your chosen family, your bunch. You can thrive within the right group of people. Remember that this doesn't mean all of them. Just focus on the ones who support you in your own personal brand of expression. The others will join in when it's their time. Put your energy into them instead of those who make you feel like splitting. Banana split, get it? Time to bring your community together. So I just thought that was a sweet closing, especially because this week we have all the puns are pouring out now. We have a bunch of gatherings. So we have 3 more, I think, this week, but the main one I just really want to shout out before we bounce is the open mic on Friday. And I'm really hoping, like, this stage that we're on and this witnessing is like all those things I just shared was only possible through being witness for the last 3 years. I'm really seeing like this 3-year cycle that has just closed for me being so present right now. Like 3 years ago is when Flo, Midori, Kiki, and I started linking up more. 3 years is when Kiki hired me as her virtual doula, and there you see oh my gosh, great timing, a great timing, little one. Oh, you can't see them on screen. But Kiki's little one just hopped on camera right at that moment. That's how this was all made possible. Like just witnessing and having that courage to be seen by someone else, like learning about the nervous system and the ways that all the science is like, you are relational beings. It's collective care. That's the answer. So whether I put that in the description, like even if you just want to do a fit check, like come through to the open mic, and inviting everyone to just be witness amongst our community, because everybody is so powerful. And I have no doubt that literally just being seen, even by like all the magical people that are in the energy bank, like y'all have your eyes, and the magic of of being witnessed by you has propelled us to where we're at, and that is what we're here to do and amplify for everyone. So that's the message from the dragons: is come be seen on Friday, and then the other gatherings are Journey to the Birth Realm Wednesday and Movement Cafe with Flo on Thursday. So that's it. Thanks.
Thank you, message. Thank you, Selah. Hi, BB. Thanks for coming. We love to see you. Thank you all for joining us this morning. As we close out, just letting you know there will be a QR code that's going to pop on the screen as we close out, and that will house ways to stay connected with us. If you aren't in the village already, you can join. If you want to support our work and resource the vision, we do offer all of our offerings for free. We are now operating as a church, lay-led secular church, and so all your donations are tax deductible. And we would love, even if it's just $5, it's not just $5 to us. And so we appreciate any loving gifts you can do in a resourced way. And also just, yeah, share the word with your friends. Join the village if you think this is something that would resonate with them. We've got lots of programming, and this is just the beginning of our Soft Power TV season that's really going to kick off in the new year. There's going to be a lot of dope events to come to, so stay tuned. And yeah, thank you all so much for coming. I wish you all a week of shedding what is stagnant, releasing what no longer belongs to you, allowing your stories to be stories that are severed with love from who you are, so that your current existence is wide open, your dreams are attainable, and may everyone lean into interdependence with your crew, your bunch, your banana bunch this week, and really channel that in love. So thank you all. Love you all. Have a great week. And also another thing, just as an addendum, we'll be sharing in the show notes as well as on social media and Discord, a place where you can get into what is influencing each of us each week and influencing our downloads. So we'll be sharing a link where you can hop in and see what we're reading, what we're listening to, what we're studying. And so if there's anything you want to get into, you can join us in that, and feel free to reach out to any of us individually. If you do connect with something, you want to talk about it, we want to engage with you. And so that's what I'll leave you with. I hope everyone has a great rest of your day. And that is the end of Moonday Grounding. Bah, bah, bah.